Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's extremely controlled episode, we're going to be replacing the control arms on the Opel Corsa 1.4 utility. It's going to be a case of out with the old and in with the new. And that's what's going to be happening, guys. So without any further ado, let's get started. We're straight into it this afternoon. I heard a knocking noise from the suspension, and after doing a few checks, it appears as though the control arm seems to be failing. Seems to be having quite a bit of a problem here. Very loose, and I think one of the bushes are completely done here. So I'm hearing this knocking noise all the time, and I think that's what the issue is. I'm going to take it off, examine it, and see if we can replace it or repair it, and see what the best course of action is. First thing we want to do, I'm just going to put some lubrication on these bolts here. These are 18 bolts, bolt and nut. Both sides I think is 18. I may be wrong, but I think so. I just want to clean them off, so that I'll clean the threads a little bit off, so that we know that when we unscrew the bolt, or the nut at least, that the nut is not going to get any sand jammed into it, etc., because there'll be a lot of sand underneath here. This is still pretty clean. Other vehicles, yeah, they actually look much worse than this, but in general you've got to use a brush to scrub them off. Next we want to do is the one here right at the back. That's right at the back here. We want to do him. That's the one we're going to do. This is the one with the bush here. It's this one here we're going to do. And then we'll do the same thing here on this back bush bolt. Just going to take a brush. Difficult to show you guys in here because it's really, it's very mucky. It's really full of muck here at the back. So when we turn that bolt loose, we don't want to get all that muck on it. I'm just using some Q20 just to try and get some lubrication on the nut as well, because there's a high chance that that's going to be full of muck. And then, yeah, I think that's about the best now. The bottom bolt looks okay, but I'm going to just give him a clean. I'm just cleaning him here at the bottom, best we can, that our spanner fits on him easily. There we go. Right, then the third one we want to do is this one over here. That's him sitting right there. That's the one here. That's attached to your ball joint. He should be fairly easy to get off. He looks very dry, looks very clean. I'm just going to spray him on the other side. Guys, don't get it on your brake disc. Just get it onto the... There we go. That's it. Just give him a good brush. Both sides of your threads. And brush those threads. Just so that when it turns loose, there's no sand stuck inside the nut, which can cause a problem. Okay, we're going to start with the one right at the back, probably the more difficult one. We're just going to get our 18 socket on him and start turning. What you just want to do is crack him loose, and then make sure your nut at the top is not turning with. Right, he's not turning with, but I see now he's starting to turn with. So what I'm going to do is, at the top, I'm just going to put on an 18 spanner, just to hold him in place. Let's do it. There we go. And out comes the bolt. Okay guys, that's our first bolt out. Just going to clean off that threads a bit. We'll clean it a bit better later. It's our first nut. We're going to clean them off also a little bit more, but we'll just keep them together for now. It's our first one. So next up is going to be the next push over here. We're going to loosen him. For him we're going to need a breaker bar because he's extremely tight. Some of these bolts and nuts haven't been loosened since the beginning of the vehicle, so they're still sitting with the factory torques. And what we're just going to do now, if you make sure your spanner stays in place. I've got an 18 socket on one side and an 18 socket on the other side. Go. Just watch your fingers. There we go. That's it. I think I can switch over to the ratchet now. Should be okay. Off comes the nut. And of course, guys, we're going to have to knock that guy out. Yeah. Just going to tap him out. Should come out very easily. Yeah, just use a screwdriver and then we'll tap him out further. And he's out. So now we're doing the... All I want to do is just to get a spanner on the back of the ball joint nut. I'm going to try our ratchet first to see if we can loosen him. Should be able to. Yep. There we go. He's not as tight. We will torque these bolts up afterwards. They do have a torque as all the bolts on the vehicle. But obviously, you know, if you don't have a torque wrench, then super tight will be the best thing. Turn him off. And once again, we'll have to just tap him out. If we're lucky, we can just pull him out by hand. If not, we're going to have to tap him. I think we're going to have to tap him. Let's take off screwdriver. If you've got a punch, it's even better. Here we go. Okay, so we're just going to clean up the threads as the bolts come off. You don't need to overdo this. You just need to get all the muck out of it. It should be fine. And then of course we'll give this a good clean with our Q20. So the Q20 will clean it off as well as lubricate it a little bit, just for the initial turn on. So we need to loosen up the ball joint over here, and what we're gonna just do is drive a screwdriver into the gap that we have there. Just gonna tap him in, just open it up a little bit like that, and then we're gonna knock on the old arm and knock him out. And out he comes. And there we go, everything out. Control arm is out. So we're inspecting the bushes that's on here. And yeah, this one clearly is cracked. If you look at that. And that's your, yeah, he's cracked up. It's not looking very good. Looks cracked up there. And as for the rest, they've been in for 20 years. That's our ball joint. And clearly, ball joint has seen better days, guys. It's seen much better days. First things first, let's clean up. So, guys, I've just wiggled it in there now. It's very difficult to film this, very hard. It's just unfortunately not easy to film it. Yeah, it's rather difficult, but that's where we're wiggling it into position. Once that's in, we're going to put our bolt in there to keep it in position, and then we'll take it from there. I'm just trying to line my holes up. Yeah, getting the control arm in is relatively easy, but you've got to get that bush in at the back first. That is very, very important. You've got to wiggle it, you've got to move it up and down, you've got to move it to side, and then even if you have to put some lubrication on it, then do that. Once your ball joint is in, you won't have a problem with it further. This is only one way of doing it. The other way is, of course, to put in the pivot bush. That would be the other way to do it. And of course, you don't have to use a jack there, but you'd have to use a jack on the other side. And either way, you're probably going to have to use a jack. But in this case here, what I'm doing is I put my ball joint in first, and then I'm going to put my pivot joint in afterwards. And that's how it works. Getting our nuts on now. Nut and bolt. And then we can screw him in, and that'll be that. Of course, after tightening all the bushes, we're going to have to torque them down. And torquing them down is pretty easy, except for this one at the back, the pivot bush. That one's got about a 90 Newton meter torque on it. And there's still a few degrees that need to be added to that as well. You've got to do a degree torque as well. I'm going to leave the specs on the screen once we get to that point. Here we go. Sure. Here we go. 60 Newton meters, guys. Guys, now that we've done the ball joint, the next thing to do is the wheel alignment. We've done the other side, and we've done the left side and the right side. And after this, we're going to do the wheel alignment, and then we should be good to go. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Yeah, it was a lot going on. Doing the ball joint is not like a difficult job. It's something that you can do. You just got to make sure that you've got the correct part. Make sure you've got exactly the same part that is required. And obviously just follow the process. There is a clear process in the manual, but sometimes getting this control arm in and wiggling it means you've got to change your process. So yeah, so it's just get it in, find the best way that you can, work clean and work to the best of your ability. But overall, once you've got it in and it's connected and you've done your wheel alignment, it's going to make a huge improvement on your drive. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed that video, and if you did, please remember to like, share and subscribe to the channel. And for those of you who are aware or who are members of the channel, thank you so much for your support. And if you're not a member yet, please check out the Salford Automotive member section of the channel. So guys, please look out for the next video, and I'll see you in the next episode.